Good morning, students. Today we will be doing the worksheet number 3 from Furs and Feathers. Let's get started. Read the following passage and answer the questions. More than one option could be correct in some places. So, as many as 1 million species of land plants and animals are in danger of becoming extinct if global warming continues. So, get ready with your workbook and pencil. Okay? According to a recent study, the warming of the earth could destroy as many as 37% of the world's existing species, means the species, the animals, okay, which still exist in this world, they may extinct species by the year 2050. Global warming is caused when carbon dioxide gets into the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide acts like the glass walls and ceiling, okay, of a greenhouse. It lets sunlight to warm things up, but it doesn't let the heat escape. The same thing is happening to our planet, making it a dangerously warmer place. Not only are plants and animals in danger, but humans are at risk too. Many scientists believe the Earth's rising temperatures could eventually melt polar ice caps, cause sea levels to rise, and cause flooding. Okay, so write down in your workbook. Next, we have fill in the blanks with words given in the box below. Use a dictionary if required. Okay, some creatures like the owl that are active at night are called nocturnal creatures. They are called nocturnal creatures. The ones who are active during daytime are diurnal. Animals such as tigers that eat the flesh of other creatures are called predators. The ability of an animal to change its behavior and characteristics in order to survive in its environment is called adaptation. We call it adaptation. The ability of an animal to change its natural color or markings, which allows it to merge with its surroundings to escape predators, is called camouflage. Okay, so here is a difference. Okay, it is for environment, it is for the changing of color, camouflage. Many birds and animals travel long distances in search of food or better climate. This habit of creatures is called migration. Some creatures, such as vultures, feed on dead or decaying matter. They are called scavengers. Okay, scavengers they are called. To protect themselves from extreme weather, some animals, such as bears and bats, go into a long and deep sleep. This is called hibernation. Okay, so fill up the blanks. Next, fill in the blanks with the correct option. So if you have a lot of work to do, you are as busy as a beaver. If you sleep for a short while, you have a cat nap. Okay, cat nap. If you haven't seen someone for dash years, you haven't seen them for a very long time. That is donkey's years, means for a very long time. If you are a very important person, you are a big fish. If someone pretends to be sad and sheds false tears, the person cries crocodile tears. If you do the same thing as someone else, you are a copycat. If you go towards something in a very focused way without paying attention to anything else, you make a beeline for it. If you get rid of two problems with a single solution, you kill two birds, okay? Two birds with one stone. If you face a challenge boldly, you take the bull by the horns. Now we have phrase and clause. Okay, I have already told you what is phrase. Phrase is a group of words which doesn't have any subject and verb. Okay, on the other hand, clause has a subject and a verb. So decide whether the words make a phrase or a clause. The mango fell, it's a clause. Loud and clear, it's a phrase because it doesn't have any subject or verb. After the school bell, again it's a phrase because it doesn't have any verb. She sang beautifully, she is a subject, sang is a verb, so it's a clause. With a bang, it's a phrase. As clever as a fox, it's a phrase. We ran, we is a subject, ran is a verb, so it's a clause. It rained heavily. Okay, it is a subject. Rain means it's a verb, so it's a clause. Sun and sky, it's a phrase. After lunch, it's a phrase. In some time, phrase. The cyclone struck. Cyclone is a subject, struck is a verb, so it's a clause. Okay. Now, identify whether the underlying group of words are phrases or clauses. So when I joined this school, it's a clause because we know that I is a subject and joined is a verb. So it's a clause. So the ground floor of the building consists of a garage and a lawn. So it's a group of words. So it's a phrase. The man swam across the sea after he fell. He, subject, fell, verb. So it's a clause. The efficient cook made us our dinner. Made us our dinner means it's a phrase. Made us our dinner. Made is a verb. So it's a clause. He always said what he wanted to say. He is a subject, wanted is a verb. So it's a clause. I am living in my own house. My own house, it's a phrase. Okay. Now underline the phrases in the following sentences. Mrs. Narayan is a woman of great wisdom. Okay, now understand one thing. For example, if I remove this portion, okay, so a woman of great wisdom. So it's a phrase and it doesn't make any sense until and unless it is used with a sentence. Clear? So a woman of great wisdom. So it's a phrase. So we need to underline only phrases because phrases they don't contain any subject or any verb. Okay, they are just group of words. Okay, which have meaning, no doubt, but their meaning can be completed only when they are used with a sentence. Clear? Now Rajesh is an artist of a special talent. Now Rajesh is a subject, is a verb. Okay, so let's remove it. So an artist of special talent, so it's a phrase. Okay, the bus left the depot at the correct time. The reception will be held at my friend's farmhouse. I found a silver necklace by the road. We saw a bird with blue spots. Okay, with blue spots, it's a phrase. The bridges were built with great effort. Okay, underline it. The floor of the ballroom was made of wood. So it's a phrase. The pharmacy is right around the corner. Right around the corner is a phrase. The talkative boy was made to sit in front of the class. So this is a phrase. The constable talked in a harsh manner. I like lemonade in the warm and humid weather. Rajiv likes to jog in the park. The wings of the eagle, okay? The wings of the eagle are long. My sister often goes to Mumbai. The biryani was of the highest quality. Of the highest quality. The rabbit chased the dog down the road. Lions are natural predators in the wild. The river runs through the city. Through the city. The clown smiled in a sinister fashion, in a strange fashion. Now we have articles. Fill in the blanks in the text given below with appropriate articles. Okay, so I have already told you about when we talk about an ordinary thing or person. Okay, so we use a or an. When we talk about a definite person, a particular person or thing, we use definite article, that is the. So let's start. Do you have a camera and a passion for taking photographs? Do you have an eye for detail? Okay, why we have used an? Because its I is an vowel sound. Do you have the patience and calmness that make great photographers? The patience. Okay, if the answer means the answer to all these questions, so the answer to these questions is yes, then you might think of photography as a career option. Apart from knowing your camera well, you will also need a good understanding of light and lighting equipment as well as computers. Nowadays, most of the editing work of photography is done on computers, but skill is not all you will need to have. You will also need a great deal of confidence because today the professional world is very competitive. Most photographers are freelance workers, so they are not tied to a particular person or studio. This means that you will have to promote and advertise yourself and build up contacts by being an effective and impressive user of language. If you are not an organized person, then your work can get messy. You will be doing a number of important things at the same time. Another essential quality a professional photographer is punctuality. You will have to finish your work in time and keep your commitments to your clients. Do you know what a deadline is? To meet. Okay, so we can use both the articles, the or a. If you're talking about any deadline, then it is a. If you're talking about a particular deadline, then it is the. So both could be used. Means very simple to finish your work by a specific date. Deadline is, see, deadline means very simply to finish your work a specific by a specific date. Deadline is an important word for all the successful professionals with the. So all you aspiring photographers get to work and build a fascinating career. Okay, a fascinating career with your camera. So in sentences given below, there are article errors. You write the sentences by correcting the errors. Now what you have to do, you have to correct the article. He has found a geography book which he had misplaced yesterday. Okay, here is a rule. When we talk about a noun for the first time, okay, and if we talk about the same noun for the second time, then we used the. For example, he has found the geography book which he had misplaced yesterday, means we are talking about the misplaced book. Okay, so we are talking about a particular book, so the geography instead of a. Please switch off your mobile phone once you are on the aeroplane. Okay, on the aeroplane, not an. Okay, some people simply cannot keep a secret. Okay, means any secret they cannot keep. To be able to speak the a truth, okay, without fear requires a great deal of courage. Speak To be able to speak the truth, okay, the we will use the. Requires the great deal of courage. Mother has got the cable, okay, the cable connection disconnected so that I don't watch TV for long. Then we have a judge asked the witness, okay, where he was on the day when a burglary took place. Means we are talking about a particular day. Is anybody wearing a watch? I need to know the time. Students who work well in, so we don't have to use any article. Work well in teams, we don't use in our teams, no. In the teams, no. So no article is used. Well in teams, okay, no article. Grow up to be very sociable. Punctuation, so now we need to put punctuation mark correctly. Identify the errors in comma placement. In the following sentences, remove the comma from where it is not required and rewrite the sentences. Mr. Bhaumik visited us last evening. Okay, we don't have to use this comma. With his brother, comma, wife, comma, and children. Okay. The clouds slowly gathered, comma, became dense and black. We don't have to use comma here. Dense and black, comma, and it began to rain. The flight that was supposed to leave, okay, we don't have to use comma here. Supposed to leave at 8 p.m. We don't have to use comma here. Has now been cancelled, full stop. I iced the cake, comma, put cherries on the top. So cherries, we don't have to use comma after cherries, okay, on the top, comma, and sprinkled, we don't have to use comma here, okay, some chocolate shavings, full stop. The teacher walked into the class, we don't have to use comma, okay, into the class, comma, sat down, comma, looked up and opened the book, okay. Now now it's a punctuation exercise, okay. The next one, so the T capital spider monkeys are in primitive, comma, new world monkeys, new after a new hyphen world monkeys, they are called spider monkeys because they look like spiders when they are suspended by their tails, full stop. Spider monkey as capital monkeys are usually all black, comma, but some have flesh hyphen colored rings around their eyes and white chin whiskers, okay, hyphen we have to use after whiskers, full stop. Their T capital tail is sometimes longer than the body, full stop. Both B capital, the underside, and tip of the tail are used for climbing and grasping. The spider monkeys use it like a fifth hand, okay, full stop. When capital W swinging by the tail, comma, the hands are free to gather food. The spider monkey's arms and legs are particularly long, too long, comma, because we have to make the distinction in order to understand. Two, they have uh, shaped hands because their thumbs, hook shaped hands because their thumbs are either absent or reduced to a stump, full stop. The palm is long and narrow, comma, with long, comma, curved fingers, full stop. Okay. Now the next one is, so this exercise actually you have to write yourself. You can see a picture, okay. A lioness is drinking water at the bank of a river, okay. So use your imagination, okay. I'll encourage you to write your own description, okay. Here I have just given you an example, okay. This is just an example. okay, for your idea. Now, this was turning out to be a most interesting vacation. I couldn't believe my eyes, just 15 feet away from my hideaway behind a rock, comma, a magnificent lioness had strolled down to the water's edge and was now crouched, lapping at the water like some giant, magnificent cat. Her coat was shinier than the sun. Even as she drank, her eyes were alert, scanning the environment. For what? At that moment, as mesmerized as I was by her, I felt a prickle of fear at the danger I could be in if she picked up my scent. Okay, so the workbook is completed now. Okay, so revise it, do it yourself, do it with pencil, revise it. Okay, you will understand all the concepts. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.